Yeah. But anyways,
Mashallah,
my next
mashallah,
question,
mashallah.
my next question to you is, what do you? So yeah, seriously, how did you like initiate? Like, was this like a thing for you? Ki you wanted to basically hustle around and check what works for you and like try different bands. What was the scene with you?
No, see, the two bands that I am currently in, like permanently a part of, like they are going to be the bands that I work with officially.
Right. Right.
No, it's just that different people, sometimes they needed a guitarist, sometimes they needed some help with something, and I just offered those artists. I was like, you know what, chalo mil lete. Either some people I haven't met in some time, or some new people that I was interested to meet and work with. And I guess I don't know. At that point in time, it was just a genuine interest in just networking and getting to know other artists, and maybe jamming with them and everything. See how the connection built and see how things went forward from there. So yeah, so
That's
it was
wonderful,
all
bro.
just
That's wonderful. Because I've always seen you have a forward-thinking approach. Like you're always moving forward in your career. Like, I
yeah.
mean, there's
Now
like
now
always
it's a
like,
lot more. At least speaking of now, it's a lot more private. Like I'm just doing my own thing. Before I
right,
used to be like spread out all over the place, and I don't know.
right.
I think with the pandemic happening and everything, I just started like liking spending time with myself. And now
Yeah.
whatever work I do, it's just it's a
You
little.
must be like, I'm not meeting people. I mean, it's so good that I'm not meeting people that I want to form a band with. Like, you meet people and my question to you is, like you said that, I mean, what is the challenge been for you doing Hindi music and at the same time doing English music? Has there been like a different approach that you have, or do you look at music like a universal subject matter? You look at it as a thing which, I mean, unifies languages, or do you look still feel that there is a distinction between how Hindi music is supposed to be arranged, curated, played, performed, as when compared with Western music?
So oh yes, there are definitely a lot of things, a lot of different things that go into Hindi music compared to English music, and
Right.
it like just mentally and creatively speaking, it is quite a stretch
Got it.
sometimes because like after you're done working on one song with one band, then you have to start working on one song with the other band like quite immediately because there's sometimes there's gaps. Luckily,
Yeah.
we do not coincide both the bands, like we go one by one, and like both of them know, and they have an understanding and everything कि मतलब हाँ मतलब एक एक करके जाएंगे, like even we want a break. So yeah, no, creatively and mentally speaking, there's quite a bit of a stretch. Sometimes I've used a lot of my creative juices in one song, and then for the other song, I'm just very exhausted, and like sometimes I don't get too many ideas because I was just working on one genre, and it's a very sudden switch to like Bollywood music, electronic music, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And obviously you're working with two different people who react in different ways, and you have very different
Even though they're a
connections with
part of the
them.
same band. But yeah,
No,
but
no, I meant like like one vocalist from Fourth Lane and one vocalist from Half Cooked
no, no,
Review, two
absolutely.
very different
I'm
people.
kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So
It's a different
two
thing
different
altogether.
people, two different bands, two very different chemistries, two very different interactions, two very different
Right,
friendships, and two very different genres again. And
right. Which, hmm,
hmm. And obviously it's sometimes for me and Ram, we work in both the bands, right? So sometimes
right.
we like a break, but again, the situation is such, and we haven't reached at such a level yet that we can stop hustling, honestly speaking. So
Got it.
we got to keep going for it. We got to be constant with our upload. We got to be constant with our music. And there's also other works going on, like studio work, studio assignments, stuff like that alongside both of these bands. But I would say that honestly, I'm very happy that this is something that I very genuinely and you know uh, like not at all failingly enjoy. Like this is something I very thoroughly enjoy. So even
Right.
if it like takes all the energy out of me, it is not something I
It's
regret,
very
and it
rewarding
is
that way.
very rewarding. Like even personally, मतलब क्या गाना डालो, views नहीं आए, ठीक है यार, हमने तो गाना तो बना दिया. That is such a big accomplishment. So many
अरे अरे
people
पॉडकास्ट
who's
के बारे में ऐसे ही हमारा पॉडकास्ट का भी यही अप्रोच है बट took us down that route that we were trying to avoid ourselves from going into. And
yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I
No,
thought you were just
but
dissing our podcast. I mean, for a second.
yeah,
But yeah.
but
So
it's just
we
a
were like,
song
we'll
like
get views through Ajay, and he's like, मेरे खुद के गाने को views नहीं आ रहे, तुम लोगों को क्या views आ रहे? What? We've spoken to you for 2 hours for nothing. But I
yeah.
mean,
Oh boy.
So
Oh,
I mean,
you could have told this to us like 15 minutes into the podcast, and we could have ended it quickly. It would have been good for both the parties involved. You tell this after 2 hours. That guys, don't fucking expect any views at all. Follow.
you
And
really hurt me here in the meow meow. Okay, you gotta take it easy.
no, not at all, not at all. But I mean, yeah, it's interesting, man. So, how many hours of a week that you put are there that you put into music overall, like jamming, studio time, your own music, your own practice, your two bands, and all
Like
of that?
you want me to calculate all the hours from the last 3 years or?
Yeah. No, I mean, like on an average in a week, how much time do you spend?
Oh boy. See, so normally, like even after like Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I have my class at like 8 a.m. in the morning. I have to get up at 6:30, get ready, have my breakfast, or nikal lo udhar se, ghar se, and come to class. And yeah, the rest of the days, I still happen to like come to the studio like almost every day, all day. You will find me here at Grace Park,
Right.
and yeah, because I feel like Grace Park is a place where I'm very creative, and it's like I can get
It's a
ideas.
good place,
Like
man. It's a very well made place.
it's a really good place.
Yeah.
Normally मतलब
And
गाने लिखने के लिए तो
the food joints around are also very good. Like High Street is like 2 minutes away from
हाँ
any.
ना भाई
Yeah.
तू हाई स्ट्रीट छोड़ दे after
Ujjai,
class that
there's a eating place now. Like you get thalis and
हाँ
all there. Just
या
Akshita and I used to go.
उधर भी है but not only that after class ends at like 10:30 10:45 a.m. मैं तो मस्त 25 रुपीस लेके जोशी वड़े वाले को जाके मैं पोहा सांभर खा के आ जाता हूँ भाई इतना मजा आता है
Yeah, bro. No, I can understand, bro. I can understand, bro.
yeah
It's
it's
interesting.
great stuff yeah but no
I
it's
mean, yeah,
just
when you're
even
working.
yeah no please
No,
finish
no.
please finish
Continue.
what is that
Continue. I deliberately did that just to like derail you. I'm kidding. So yeah. So
yeah but मतलब घर पे भी मेरे creative juices निकलते हैं गाने लिखने के लिए but obviously I spent like
do you like leak juices like what निकलते हैं मतलब what?
how
Is there
weird
like foam
sounds
like
like
leak? तो मेरे
भाई
juices निकल गए
देख भाई it is quite a literal thing मैं हगने के लिए जाता हूँ बहुत सारे ideas आते हैं मेरे मन में
Right. We were going to ask you what is the process of making song, and like I got we didn't come to that question. I'm so glad. He was like, we'll make an IGTV video out of it, and he was like, we just fucking use Sulabh Shauchalaya band. I mean, that's pretty much. So if there's an album, it's just like 7 days into like. This is I don't know man, what to say. I don't even know what. I don't know, man. This is
I think
anti-inspiration. This is
I think
anti-inspiration.
the next album we're releasing I'm calling it Shauchalaya or I'm calling it Bathrooms
From fourth lane? From fourth lane.
dono
Oh, great, bro. I mean, Shauchalaya for half cooked rice.
yeah
And
no Shauchalaya for fourth lane bathroom for half cooked rice
yeah. I mean, sorry, yeah. But I think Shauchalaya makes sense for half cooked rice because half cooked rice. So I mean, yeah.
but anyway aside from that it's like it's like I'm very creative in the studio I'm very creative at home like and I've been at home for like what 10-11 months now I think I'd like to be creative somewhere else for a specific period of time before I go back to being
Right.
creative at home
You know the people coming in Grace Park are like, why the fuck is your bathroom always engaged? We always try to get inside, but I don't know. We're even hearing guitar noises. I mean, I heard electric guitars that time. I was like, are my ears? Have I not trained my ears enough in Grace Park that I can understand what is this place? I mean, is everything so musical here that people inside the bathroom also sound like they're riffing and like just strumming? I don't know what's happening, man. It's just weird. I have to travel 2 kilometers to High Street to like take a piss. And yeah, man, you guys should probably do something. Imagine someone spending the whole day in Grace Park and then you coming out of the washroom. He's like, what the fuck is this happening? You were there for a day? It's like, yeah, man, I just finished an album. I was jamming on Zoom with all my bandmates. It was so interesting.
yeah bro I finished an album I joined 3 new bands and we released 5 new songs
Shit. But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting, though. It's very interesting. I think you should stop going to Joshi Wade Wale, I guess. I think that's, it has nothing to do with you going to worship. But no, I'm kidding. I think you should go probably at 9 o'clock. I think the 10:45 lot that you're getting is probably the stuff that they want to just dispose of. They're like, we're about to close shop and this guy comes and asks, we are like, I mean, we just give it to us for this also.
Oh boy.
but no, man. I mean, I think I agree with the fact that washrooms can be productive. I will not deny that at all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
No, it is an actual fact that like nearly 90% of the time people get the greatest ideas when they're going for a shower. Like,
Shower ideas are very highly
uh,
respected.
why do you think there are 50,000 pages called shower thoughts? I mean, come on.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Ranbir Kapoor has made 20,000 of them. But I'm kidding. So if you've seen Savaria, you know what I'm talking. But yeah, so yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man, I understand. I think there's no place or there's no time for stuff. If you are working on something, it can just you know.
Mm,
So yeah, you have to be respectful of that, and you just have to then put your energies
absolutely.
into trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah, man.
make
There were
whatever.
times where I was about to go to sleep. Like it is like 1 or 2 a.m. in the night.
Do you
And then
deliberately eat fast food stuff because you understood there's a process in you going to the washroom? Like, do you deliberately,
no, this isn't about the washroom.
your friends are like, Ajay, we don't think you're contributing that much. I mean, I think you probably just need to. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to go to Cow Gully today. And I'm just like, so. You're eating dahi batata puri with your hands like a deviant. And people are like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He's like, no, album chahiye, album chahiye.
You're like, hey guys, I am feeling extra confident tonight. मैं अभी chicken biryani खा के आया. अरे नहीं भाई
I deliberately,
मेरे को
I,
वेस्टर्न म्यूजिक बनाने का है. मैं अभी पास्ता खा के आया. मेरे को गरबा गरबा के लिए कुछ म्यूजिक बनाने का है. मैं अभी जलेबी फाफड़ा खा के आया. रुक.
That's very interesting, bro. That's very interesting. But yeah,
Very
I mean,
culturally offensive and stereotypical, but
yeah, I mean, you just went full Tarak Mehta on that stuff, but it's interesting. I mean, Tarak Mehta is such a good, it's a very nice show. I mean, not always that, but yeah. But yeah, I've been years that I watched Tarak Mehta. I was just watching a few episodes with my friend. I mean, they are funny, man. It's all like there's no doubting that. But yeah.
absolutely.
So what are your favorite, like, coming to our next question? What are your favorite? Like, I mean, we just ask you, like, this is my last question, and then Partha is going to ask you one question.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, general sense, man, what are the kind of shows that you like? What are your favorite apart from Doraemon? What are the things that you like?
See, it all comes in like this very similar category. I watch Ninja Tori, I watch Shinchan, I watch.
That's great, bro. That's great. The drugs are
So
working.
sometimes I feel experimental and I decide to watch Ben 10. Funny.
Are you seriously only watching cartoons, or like what is up with it?
See nowadays, like the jokes aside, when I turn on my TV, I'm normally browsing through like the English movies or the Hindi movies or the the English entertainment section with like Comedy Central, Star World, stuff like that. Or sometimes, like every day there is this I think 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock or 4:30 gap where my grandmother comes and watches Balika Vadhu. So I sit her, I like join her sometimes to watch Balika
Right.
Vadhu, and it's a very interesting show. I get to learn a lot from it. Or they've maybe changed the actor for the character in their shows. I'm like, यार मेरे को
It's always
bandmates
a
भी ऐसे
new
ही
show.
बदलने
It's
चाहिए.
always a new show when you're watching it. I mean, you're like the characters are always different. Like, what? It's like dark, bro. It's like dark. There's a multiverse theory happening. Like the actors are always changing. Like, I mean,
Dude, I'm telling you, there's this one time in Balika Vadhu, and I do not know why I remember this. Please don't even ask. There's this one time in Balika Vadhu where the main character was growing up, and then they literally asked this question on TV. They put three actresses over there who are potential, protagonist characters, and they're
okay,
like,
so you want this
which?
one?
No. Which out of these actors do you think will be the next protagonist?
This happened in this show called The Office. So In
Oh
season
boy.
8, one of
Oh boy, The
yeah.
Office.
No, I mean not literally. I mean not like they didn't break the fourth wall and say ki now whom they want. What happened
Hmm.
is one of the main characters left the show in season 7 after season 7. So
Oh,
he
okay.
was playing one of the main characters. So he was playing a character of a like a boss. So they were like, now we want. So they got literally Jim Carrey. They got some of the most famous actors, and they
Hmm.
literally metaphorically showed that there's a interview thing happening. And they
Acha.
literally, I'm not even kidding, they got Warren Buffett on the show to interview, just like for a
Yeah,
joke.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh
So
boy.
they got Warren Buffett to on the show, and like and they showed Warren Buffett to be this guy who's like complaining about petrol prices and all. Like I mean, the world's richest guy, they got him to do that. So they did that, and then they left it open ended, and then in season 8 they made the final call as to whom they wanted.
Oh
So I
boy.
think yeah,
Yeah. No, but
it's very like
can you imagine how insulting it would be to the other two actresses? Like, I'm sure they had already decided, but no, they're like, there are these three actresses. You will have to guess who is coming next.
yeah,
And can you
absolutely.
imagine how insulting it would be? Is like, no, these other two actresses aren't coming. It is this one.
Yeah, I mean yeah, it's weird. It's weird that way. But yeah, I mean it's been so nice talking to you. I mean it's been less of a podcast, more of like a hanging out sort of thing. So Parth is going to ask you the last question that we usually have, which is like a corporate question that he only asks because he
Okay.
belongs to the corporate world.
Are you
Parth,
guys going to ask me to rate your podcast?
No,
that's so.
no, no,
I
no.
mean,
That's not something we want to do. But we know,
Yes,
so
please ask ahead.
I, it's the most cliched question actually. What do you think? I mean, going forward, because we've been through a pandemic, we've seen the whole scene change, and so what do you think is going to happen coming in the coming few years, or yeah,
In regards to?
in regards to the whole scene, because we've seen complete makeover of the scene, right? So we had a
there's been a transition. Yeah.
yeah pretty good scene already happening, and then we had to stop everything and do something completely opposite.
So, I would say that, like, I mean, obviously now vaccines are on trials, and so many people are getting vaccinated in those trials, and I feel like soon enough we'll reach a stage, like, I mean, it's very open-ended according to me. Like, it could go so many different ways. Um, I'll tell you one that I want. Obviously, like, I'm sure a lot of people want it, is that the vaccines actually work, and all the people that can be vaccinated do get vaccinated,
Mm.
and then it becomes a mask-free world. And it is a legitimate possibility. Like, we could become mask-free like sooner or later with the kind of progress we're making. Or it could also be that we keep our masks on, and we're still cautious because there's so many variants of COVID going around the world, and there's not going to be one vaccine that's going to eradicate everything
Mhm.
entirely. Like, there will be some people who are still very prone to certain variants, or maybe is still prone to COVID itself and will be very heavily affected by it. And I think that's the most likely to happen, most probable. Maybe that will happen. Like, we still have to be cautious. And I do not know if in the coming 100 200 years, the passing down generations, everybody's going to wear a mask. I am not really sure, but yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it at that, because I honestly do not know where this thing is going to go from here. It is a fucking roller coaster.
No,
So
we
the
were
answer,
talking in terms of music scene actually.
yeah,
I understood. But
Wait, what? Wait, what? What? Wait, you
we
guys
were
were
talking
asking
in we were talking in terms of like how you. I mean, your answer was also very good. I'm not denying that. I'm saying that in terms of where you look. I mean, you went on a completely different thing, but I'm like. So we were asking in terms of like where do you see yourself in the scene and where do you see the scene itself?
Oh my
Like,
god! Oh shit.
yeah.
Um, I'm honestly very confused at this point, because see, there's so many variants of COVID coming out, right?
You're going back to the same answer, bro.
uh, at this point, like, music is always my passion. I'll always like writing songs and releasing them. But I've now reached this point, even in, like, especially in sound engineering, where I'm kind of confused what I want to prioritize even more, because I'm like, at least during this course, like I don't know what's going to happen after the course about, getting a job and actually working in a studio with clients and the kind of expectations that are there for a sound engineer in a studio. But at least at this point, I'm confused about whether I actually want to pursue, music full time and just keep, sound engineering on the side, or whether I want to do it vice versa.
I think you can do both the things. I mean, you're
So you
pretty.
can do both, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm the kind of person that really likes to very radically progress in something, and at least personally for me, I only think that's possible when I really focus on something very wholeheartedly. Like earlier, it was music and songwriting, and I've got a couple of songs written. Right now, I'm very very focused on sound engineering. I'm trying to make my progress in that, and then I'll reach a point where I feel like I'll have to either I will keep prioritizing both of them at different points in time. Like for a certain section of time, I'll be prioritizing this. For a certain section of time, I'll be prioritizing that. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just enjoying both worlds, the best of both worlds. I'm in this great studio. They're letting us record and releasing music, and
Mm.
I am releasing music, making music with my bandmates. They're going hand in hand together. So yeah, I honestly do not know. I'm just taking life as it comes. So
That's great, bro. That's such an honest answer, and I really appreciate your honesty throughout the whole thing. You've been very, I mean, very frank and very honest about how
hey,
you feel about things, and
absolutely.
we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's
Hey, see, if I
very,
like Doraemon, you have to let me like Doraemon, okay?
bro, I love Doraemon, bro. It's one of my favorite shows growing up. I was just messing around with you. So, anyways,
No,
thank you so much,
Doraemon is
Ajay.
no. Doraemon is great. That's it. Nothing.
Doraemon's great, bro. Doraemon's great. So thank you so much, Ajay, for joining us. We so glad that you spoke so wholeheartedly, and for the people who made it to this point, I don't know whether it's going to be a two-part or a one-part podcast. You guys will know. So thank you so much for joining, Ajay, and we hope to see you doing all the amazing work you're doing with Half Book Rice and
Okay.
Port Lane, and your own stuff that you're doing, sound engineering or your own gigs that you're doing, the own music you're making. So we really look forward to that, and we hope to see you around. And thank you so much for joining us. People who made it to this point, we put out a podcast every Friday on our YouTube channel. If you're watching it on YouTube, just subscribe. And you can follow our page soundsgood.pod on Instagram, and we also are there on Spotify and other audio streaming platforms. So we'll see you there. This is Parth, Bhai, and me signing off. And go and follow Ajay also, guitars underscore and underscore chopsticks, which is a
Letter
very
N.
huh?
Letter
Okay,
N.
guitars underscore n underscore chopsticks. Just go and follow him, and keep the music coming, Ajay, and we'll see you around. Thank you so much, guys. Cheers. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.